Good Beards, and welcome back to the Good Beard Society, where we discuss all things facial hair and occasionally some things that aren't. Kevin, how you doing, buddy?
Good, Nick. How's it going? Hey, everyone. Good to see you again this week. Good to be back here on the Good Beard Society. Got a lot to talk about today, Nick.
As always, right?
Yeah, especially today because I'm a little upset.
Uh-oh. Please do tell.
Oh, yes, I will. And it has to do with beards, trust me. Listen, you know what? You know, we're a small company, right?
I do.
Okay. We're out here in Colorado. We're American made. We're veteran owned. We use the best ingredients that we
Damn
could
straight.
that we can use, including our cocoa butter. So, you know, it's not real cheap to make this. It's expensive. And when you're putting out a quality product like Doc Goodbeard, you're proud of it and you want to share it.
That's right.
And so, you know, like other beard companies out there, we started giving away free samples about a year ago. I see a lot of the big companies doing the same thing, but they're giving out 24 samples for free. We can't afford that. We're a small company, and most beard companies are small, and they can't
Right.
afford that. And then we got shipping, right? You got to do the shipping. All this stuff costs money, but because we want to share our product with everybody, we go out there and we say, "Hey, try a free sample of Doc Goodbeard. Just pay shipping." That's what our ad says, right?
Which we don't have any control over.
Right. And you have to pay for advertising as well, right?
Yes.
So, what I want to talk about is people are mean. They're just flat ass mean.
Okay.
So, I want to read you something, Nick, that came in today on our Facebook page on our ad. I got a thing from this lady that said, her name's Kim. Most of the people that bitch and complain seem to be real young women. I don't know why, but it is. I don't usually see guys putting this kind of stuff, but let me read this. She put, "Free sample my butt. It doesn't take $5.99 to ship that little tube. No way, no how. Horrible scam." Well, that didn't sit well with me, Nick. You know how I am, right?
I
I
do.
have I have a little bit of pride, American pride. So you know what I did? Listen to me, guys out there. This is what you do. You don't put up with shit like that. You go back to these customers and this is what you say. "Kim, you have no idea what it costs me to make the best beard products in the country. It's not Chinese made, American made by me, a veteran on the United States Marine Corps. I'm a small business owner in Colorado. We use cocoa butter as one of our ingredients, and it is quite expensive compared to beeswax and shea butter. It costs an average of $3 to produce with labels, tubes, product. The average cost to ship the cheapest possible way through XPS Ship and UPS S. Shipping is based on distance from Colorado. The average cost to ship a tube is $4.12. Check it out, you know it all. I remind you that claiming my business is a scam is under my discretion to sue you. So you and all the others who complain about shipping, shop somewhere else and don't mess with slander. Got it?" That's what I wrote back. And that's where we stand as a company. So if you don't like the shipping, screw you. Go find something else. All right, I got that off my chest. Let's talk about beard health, buddy.
That's quite the segue there. I think, unfortunately, a lot of people don't understand the economics of that. And, and it doesn't help that there are bigger companies out there that can afford to eat the cost of shipping as well as the cost of the product that they're sending to their customers. And unfortunately, not everybody can do that. And I think people need to take a moment to understand that, the company isn't trying to scam you or trying to rip you off or anything along those lines. They're simply trying to minimize the amount of cost that they have to pay to get that product to those people.
Correct. And our samples, you get about ten uses out of it instead of just one.
Right.
So it's a good deal. I think what we need to do, Nick, in the future is I'm really thinking I'm not even sure about the free sample thing anymore. It just, I mean, I think maybe we change our advertising how we do this, because people are cheap. They want things for free now. Everything's free, so they're going to attack you. So if you say it's free and it's not exactly 100% free to them, you're cooked. So even if you put on there, like our ad says, just pay a small shipping fee, they go berserk.
Mm-hmm. And it's not a lie. The product itself is free.
Right. We're making it, we're producing it, and we're advertising it, and we're shipping it, and we're doing all these things, and all those things cost money. And you know, most people don't even get an opportunity to try a product before they buy it. So I really don't, I think it's a good deal, and we got to think about it. But I don't know. I
And
just had to get.
it
Go
would be
ahead.
unfortunate to have a few bad apples spoil the bunch.
Yes.
I think that there are a lot of people, the majority, I believe, the vast majority do understand that something like shipping costs are out of our control.
Right. And they look at it, they go, "There's no way that could cost that much." My God, some of them, one tube sometimes cost me $4.89. I
Right.
mean,
So we're not,
yeah, you know that. You
yeah,
see it when we ship. It's crazy. That, let me tell you, that adds up. So especially when you're trying to get that product and build your brand like Doc Goodbeard, we've done a great job building our brand. We're very well respected. We have a great product. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of what we've accomplished in the last year and a half. I miss my buddy Jim, but we're moving the company forward in his name, and we're going to keep continuing to do what we're doing. And if some people don't like it, well, I guess that's their problem, not ours. But I just had to get that out there because I know a lot of the guys out there and gals, if you're listening, that want to get beard products for their men, then, you know, getting a free sample is the way to go. You get to
absolutely.
try it. You know what I mean? So, anyways, we were going to talk today, Nick, about beard health. And one of the things that I think you wanted to talk about with me was you were doing a little bit of a cleanse last week, I believe. And that cleansing your body and getting yourself healthy, does that affect you know, how does that affect your body, and how does that affect your beard and, everything else?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. If you're listening to this podcast, there's a good chance that you have some sort of facial hair, and you're probably aware of the external products that you can use to keep that hair healthy, like beard balms, beard oils, beard washes, derma rollers, you name it.
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
lots of products out there to help externally. Really, what I wanted to focus on and talk about were the internal things that we can do for our health that will help promote a healthy beard or healthy facial hair, which is pretty much the goal of everybody who's growing something, right?
Exactly.
You want to make sure that it looks its best. And
Exactly.
Yeah, and one of the things that I did, or what really kind of inspired this topic, was that I did just do a 4-day fast. So I spent 96 hours with no food and nothing but water to keep me going. And recently, the science has kind of developed over time. There've been inklings of it over the past, where originally you had like the Atkins diet,
Exactly. Yeah.
and then it kind
I
of developed into
remember.
like, hmm and then it developed into the paleo diet, and now everybody at this point, I'm sure, has heard of the keto diet, and
Hmm.
it's all based off of the science of fasting, which we didn't know a whole lot about until fairly recently. And so they're discovering now that periods of fasting, which can range anywhere between 24 and 96 hours. And they find that when you deprive your body of food for a given period of time, and particularly once you hit the 3-day mark, your body starts to go into a phase known as ketosis, which is where we get keto diet from.
Oh.
And so what happens is around the 3-day mark, your body runs out of glucose, which is your body's main source of energy. So what it does is it starts to convert fat into something called ketones as an
Hmm.
energy source for the body. And so they've also discovered that not only are you converting the fat for energy, but when your body doesn't have to constantly process the food that we're taking in to run itself, it can enter into a healing phase. So any of these damaged cells within your body that are busy trying to turn the nutrients into energy to keep going can go into repair mode and start cleaning up some of those messes that might be within your body.
Now, if you're diabetic like me, it's kind of hard to fast for 4 days.
Right.
So, I mean, is there a recommendation for people that need to fast? Because I think everybody needs to do that
Sure.
at least for 24 hours. You got to clean your system out every now and then.
Yes. And honestly, it doesn't even have to be for 24 hours. There's something as part of the keto diet programs known as intermittent fasting. So that would be like you decide to eat between the hours of 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. And then after 5 p.m., you stop and you're essentially fasting for 16 hours.
Got it. Okay,
Now, you
yeah.
always, when you're going to do something like this, it is always wise to consult a physician, especially if you have something like diabetes. They found that fasting does actually work really well with people with diabetes or insulin resistance and blood pressure problems. And the list is just growing and growing and growing, they're discovering
Right.
as they do this. But yeah, you always want to consult a physician, especially if you are, on blood pressure medication or do have diabetes, something like that, because they're probably going to want to monitor you and adjust dosages, if you're taking insulin or any of those related types of medication.
Yeah.
But
What
you can.
I got a question about how often do you fast? Should you do it
So
once a week, once every 2 weeks?
So it depends on how long your fast is going to be.
Okay.
If you're going to do something like the intermittent fasting I was talking about, you do it every day. You get in the habit of eating between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. or whatever hours you decide
Right,
works for
right.
you. And then you spend those other hours fasting. And what that'll do is that'll help bring your body into that state of ketosis on a more regular basis so that you're burning or converting that fat into energy versus using glucose. But, if you want to do 24 hours, you can do it once a week. You can do it once a month. I wouldn't do my 4-day fast more than probably quarterly, and, even maybe once a year, just depending on how everything's going. Once you can get yourself into that healthy state, the fasting isn't necessarily necessary,
Right. I got
you
you.
know, but,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where I think really it's going to depend on how you're feeling and what your body is telling you.
Right.
Obviously, a 4-day fast is not fun.
Oh gosh, it can't be.
That's yeah. I think I mean, granted, I think I handled it fairly well. My poor wife, I think that was the topic of every conversation we had for for most of
Yeah.
those 4 days. just kind of talking about what I was feeling and how, we'll say I was hungry. And unfortunately for me, my appetite or my desire to eat didn't shut off until about 4 or 5 hours before I could start eating again.
Oh, there you go. Well, at least you know what? You look good, you
Oh,
feel good, and that beard's healthy.
yes, thank you. And really,
Yeah,
the point of the fast was more of a kickstart to changing my overall diet
right.
and eating healthier just overall, because I think much like most of us over the course of the pandemic, we kind of fell into the habit of just eating whatever, and working
Yep,
out flew out the out the window, and we all cleared out our backlogs of Netflix. And
yep,
so I really wanted to kind of take charge of my health again and do something better, and we've all heard the old saying, you are what you eat.
exactly.
And so if you're putting bad things into your body, bad things are coming out.
Right.
And while hair itself is a relatively simple structure, it's mostly keratin, which is a really durable protein. The nutrients that are necessary to grow hair are actually, you know complex and widely varied. You need protein intake. You need vitamins A, B12, C, D3, E,
Yep. Yeah.
biotin. I mean, there's a list. Iron. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And if you
Right.
have a relatively healthy diet, you're probably getting most of those things, as evidenced by the hair on your head or the hair on your face. But you start developing a deficiency in any of those, and you might find that your hair is dry and brittle, and it may even accelerate just hair loss in general. So it's really important to kind of take into consideration what you're taking into your body, because that ultimately is going to be what produces what comes out of your body. In this case,
Exactly.
hair.
Yep. And the other thing is that it's so important to drink water
Yes, hydration is
because
super important.
it very important for the beard too and the hair and your skin.
Mhm.
And because that's what makes you get that itch down here. And if you're not hydrated, that's not good either. So
Very true. And they recommend nowadays that you drink half an ounce of water per pound of body weight. So whatever you weigh, cut that in half, and that's how many ounces of water you should be drinking.
oh, I like that. I like that.
And
That's a
that doesn't
good
include anything you do that, if you drink alcohol or soda,
right.
or if you work out or anything along those lines, you have to add those extra ounces of water in too.
Y-
So drinking water is a full-time job, which is what it was meant to be.
Yes. Yeah.
We're we're
So you
we're
might as
meant
well
to have water.
yeah, you might as well cut out the Diet Coke and all that like me, right?
Right, the occasional Diet Coke, I have to have my coffee in the morning.
Yeah, I have 1 cup of coffee in the morning. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't think that'll ever change, but
Right, right. So, I mean, it's everything in moderation, right? But
right,
and your body can extract water from just about anything.
right.
But caffeine is a diuretic, so you're taking it. Your body is extracting the water from your Diet Coke, your coffee, or whatever. But then the caffeine is making you urinate it all out, and so
Yep.
it's all trying to find that balance.
Well, I think it's been a great discussion, and I wanted also to talk a little bit before we end our podcast today that we're going to Las Vegas, aren't we?
Yes, we are White Label Expo, baby.
White Label International Expo in Vegas on May 2nd, 3rd, 4th. I believe it is in that time frame. I think it's the 3rd and 4th of May. So we'll be out there and we'll be meeting a lot of people, showing off Doc Goodbeard. We got that going. We got some other good things happening. And again, we've got our new beer bomb coming out, Stout and Suds. And so we're working on that and getting that ready to present to everybody. Hopefully, we'll have that soon. So I just wanted to say about Vegas we got going, and Hell, it's been a hell of a ride this
Yes,
week.
it has.
I'll tell you what, I'm watching my grandson this my it's spring break. So, things are starting to hop. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So old Gramps is hanging out with his grandson. So I'm having a good time with him.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm really excited for things coming up. Vegas is going to be a blast.
Yeah.
Maybe we can try to do a podcast while we're there. At the very least, we'll try to get some postings out on our Instagram and Facebook and some of those others, so you guys can kind of see what's going on behind the scenes.
Exactly. And you know what else? We sell in Denver at the Zone. It's on Santa Fe, and we're going to be I was invited. I forgot to tell you this. Invited to speak to the new CDC with City Council and the Mayor of Denver in regards to small businesses and entrepreneurship. And so I'm really excited that and
Oh
it's going
yeah,
to be
that's awesome.
it's going to be on April 7th. So it's on a Friday, I guess. And so I'll be down there doing that. So I'm a little excited about that. But, you
Yeah,
know,
I would be too.
we're a small business, right, Nick?
Yeah,
And, and I think a lot of people out there want to start a business and try to go, do that. That's American dream, but it's hard work.
it is.
And, but it will pay off, and it has paid off in the heart. And that's all that
Yes.
matters right now.
And I know that, we are absolutely grateful for everybody who has already become part of the Doc Goodbeard family and
Yes.
uses and loves our products and recommends them to other people. For you, we are so happy and grateful. And you're the reason that we still exist. And,
Exactly.
the
You're the
reason that we're
reason we
going to continue
started a
existing.
podcast. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you are the reason for everything. I mean, the reviews we get are just phenomenal. And I can't thank you enough. Nick can't thank you enough. And the whole corporation of Doc Goodbeard can not thank you enough for supporting us. So, having said that, I think, Nick, we might want to close out tonight with,
Short but sweet.
yeah, short but sweet. But I think it was very informative. We got, plus, we got to, you know, to
Some
let
things off
everybody,
our chest.
yeah, get some of that and let people know what's happening a little bit in the future. So be ready for our next podcast. It looks like we're going to be joining Apple Music and maybe Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, and that'll be coming up, I think, next week. So we'll be advertising soon to let everybody know. So we want you to come to the Good Beard Society. We want you to check us out. And every week we're going to have a guest. We're going to have talk like this, discussions. It's going to be different every week. So please join us. Nick, you want to close us out or anything?
I think the only thing that you left out is that for you visual people, these podcasts will also be up on YouTube. So if you want to stare at our pretty mugs while we talk about all things beard related, you can find us there.
I love it. Yeah.
And
two best good looking guys in the beard business, Nick and Kevin.
That's right. Don't you forget it. and
go ahead.
Like I said, we're just so grateful that you're here. And, if you have any comments or have any ideas about things that you want to hear about, please let us know. We would really like to know. You can email us at docgoodbeard@gmail.com. You can find us, like I said, on Instagram and Facebook. And we'd love to hear from you. And, we look forward to having you listen to future ramblings by both of us and more exciting news to come.
Yep. Thanks. So I guess what we need to do is what we always do at the end of our podcast. We got to
You do the honors this time.
You want me to do it?
I want you to do it.
Okay, well, listen, everybody.
What's it all about?
Remember, it's all about the beard, man.
Damn straight.
Thanks. See you next time.